Thor, The Dark World, 2013, the god of thunder faces his darkest threat. Introduction. Released in 2013, Thor, The Dark World, is the second installment in the Thor series and the eighth film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. Directed by Alan Taylor. This film sees Thor, Chris Hemsworth, confronting a cosmic threat posed by the Dark Elves and their leader, Malekith, Christopher Eccleston. The film expands upon the cosmic aspects of the MCU, exploring Asgard, its people, and the broader universe while continuing Thor's character development and his relationships with his family and love interest, Jane Foster, Natalie Portman. Though not as critically acclaimed as other MCU entries, Thor, The Dark World, is an essential chapter in the larger Marvel storyline, introducing one of the Infinity Stones, which would play a key role in future films. This detailed exploration of Thor, The Dark World, covers its plot, characters, themes, production, and place within the wider MCU narrative. Plot overview. The story begins with an ancient prologue, explaining the history of the Dark Elves and their leader, Malekith, who sought to plunge the universe into darkness using a powerful weapon known as the Ether. Thousands of years ago, Malekith and his army were defeated by Thor's grandfather, Thor, and the Ether was hidden away to prevent its misuse. In the present day, following the events of the Avengers, 2012, Thor is helping restore peace across the 9 realms, which have been in disarray since the destruction of the Bifrost in the first Thor, 2011, film. Meanwhile, Jane Foster, still on Earth, discovers strange gravitational anomalies while investigating a portal in London. Unknowingly, she is transported to another realm where the Ether, a dark and dangerous force, enters her body, infecting her. Thor, sensing Jane's distress from Asgard, returns to Earth to bring her to Asgard for help. Once in Asgard, it is revealed that the Ether is one of the most powerful and dangerous substances in existence, beyond even Asgardian power. Malekith, awakened by the Ether's release, begins his quest to reclaim it and use it to bring eternal darkness to the universe. Despite Odin's, Anthony Hopkins, orders to keep Jane in Asgard, Thor decides to disobey his father and forms a plan to stop Malekith, enlisting the help of his estranged brother Loki, Tom Hiddleston, who is imprisoned for his crimes in The Avengers. Though Thor remains wary of Loki's true intentions, he knows that Loki's knowledge of the secret pathways out of Asgard might be the only way to defeat Malekith. Together, Thor, Loki, and Jane travel to Svartalfheim, the homeworld of the Dark Elves, in an attempt to confront Malekith. However, Loki seemingly betrays Thor and helps Malekith extract the Ether from Jane's body. This leads to a confrontation in which Loki sacrifices himself to save Thor from an attack by Malekith's lieutenant, Curse. Thor, now believing his brother to be dead, returns to Earth to prepare for the final battle. Malekith plans to use the upcoming convergence of the 9 realms, a rare cosmic event where all realms align, to spread the Ether's power and engulf the universe in darkness. With the help of Eric Selvig, Stellan Skarsgård, Darcy Lewis, Kat Dennings, and Ian Boothby, Jonathan Howard, Thor battles Malekith in London during the convergence, using portals to travel between worlds. Ultimately, Thor defeats Malekith, and the Ether is contained, though it is clear that it cannot be destroyed. The film concludes with Thor refusing the throne of Asgard, choosing to remain on Earth, and a twist revealing that Loki has secretly survived and taken Odin's place on the throne. disguised as the Allfather. In a mid-credits scene, Sif, Jamie Alexander, and Volstagg, Ray Stevenson, bring the ether to the collector, Benicio del Toro, teasing the greater significance of the Infinity Stones in future MCU films. Characters: Thor, Chris Hemsworth. Thor's character continues to evolve as he takes on more responsibility for protecting the Nine Realms while also grappling with his relationship with Jane Foster. His internal struggle between duty to Asgard and his love for Earth is a key focus of the film. Hemsworth once again embodies the noble yet impulsive god of thunder, showing both his strength and emotional vulnerability. Loki, Tom Hiddleston. Loki remains one of the most complex and popular characters in the MCU. After his defeat and imprisonment at the end of The Avengers, Loki's arc in The Dark World sees him wrestling with his emotions toward his family, particularly his complicated bond with Thor. Hiddleston's performance, full of wit and pathos, helps elevate the film's emotional stakes, especially in Loki's apparent redemption and sacrifice. Jane Foster, Natalie Portman. Jane plays a central role in the plot as the unwitting host of the ether. Her relationship with Thor is explored further, though the film doesn't give her much agency beyond being a plot device. Nevertheless, Jane's scientific curiosity and emotional connection to Thor are crucial to the narrative. Malekith, Christopher Eccleston. Malekith, the film's primary antagonist, is a dark elf bent on using the ether to return the universe to its primordial state of darkness. While Malekith's motivations are somewhat underdeveloped, his presence is menacing, and his quest for the ether sets the stage for a visually stunning final battle. Odin, Anthony Hopkins. Odin continues to embody the stern ruler of Asgard, clashing with Thor over the latter's willingness to defy his royal duties for personal reasons. His strict adherence to the protection of Asgard leads to tension between father and son. Frigga, Renée Russo, Thor's mother. Frigga plays a more prominent role in The Dark World. Her death at the hands of Malekith's forces is a pivotal moment in the film, providing motivation for both Thor and Loki to confront the Dark Elves. Frigga's warmth and wisdom make her a memorable figure in Thor's life. Heimdall, Idris Elba. Heimdall, the all-seeing guardian of the Bifrost, plays a supporting role in helping Thor and Jane escape from Asgard. His loyalty to Thor and his abilities are showcased in key scenes. Themes: family and loyalty. The film emphasizes the complicated relationships within Thor's family, particularly between Thor, Loki, Odin, and Frigga. Thor's loyalty to his family is tested, especially regarding his trust in Loki, while Odin's authoritarian approach causes friction between him and his son. Loki's actions, driven by a mix of love, jealousy, and ambition, add to the theme of familial conflict. Sacrifice. Several characters make significant sacrifices throughout the film. Thor is willing to risk everything, including disobeying his father, to save Jane and stop Malekith. Frigga sacrifices herself to protect Jane, and Loki seemingly sacrifices his life to save Thor, adding an emotional weight to the narrative. Power and corruption. The ether, as a manifestation of ultimate power, is at the center of the film's conflict. Its destructive nature represents the corrupting influence of power, with Malekith embodying the desire for absolute control, while Thor's actions demonstrate the responsible use of power. Destiny and free will. Thor's struggle with accepting his destiny as the future king of Asgard versus his desire to forge his own path is a central theme. In the end, Thor chooses to reject the throne, emphasizing his belief in forging his own destiny, rather than being bound by tradition. Production and visual effects. Direction by Alan Taylor. Alan Taylor, known for his work on HBO's Game of Thrones, brings a more grounded, gritty visual aesthetic to Asgard compared to Kenneth Branagh's more Shakespearean approach in the first Thor. Taylor's direction emphasizes the fantasy and epic scope of the Nine Realms, particularly in the darker tone of Svartalfheim and the cosmic battles. Visual effects. The film's visual effects are a highlight, especially in the portrayal of the Ether and the final battle during the Convergence. The use of portals in the climactic fight sequence is both innovative and visually stunning, showcasing Thor's ability to traverse between worlds. Action sequences. The film is packed with action, from the invasion of Asgard to the final battle in London. The choreography of the fights, particularly Thor's hammer-wielding combat and the battle against the Dark Elves, keeps the audience engaged. Costumes and set design. Asgard remains one of the MCU's most visually striking locations, with elaborate set designs and costumes that highlight the regal and otherworldly nature of the realm. The Dark Elves' design, particularly Malekith's sinister appearance, contrasts well with the golden splendor of Asgard. Reception and impact. While Thor: The Dark World was financially successful, grossing over $644 million worldwide, its critical reception was mixed. Critics praised the film's visual effects, action sequences, and performances, particularly from Tom Hiddleston and Chris Hemsworth. However, some criticism was directed at the underdeveloped villain, Malekith, and the film's uneven pacing and tone. Despite its flaws, Thor: The Dark World plays a crucial role in the overarching narrative of the MCU, particularly with the introduction of the Ether, later revealed to be the Reality Stone, one of the 6 Infinity Stones that would be central to the Infinity Saga. Legacy. Though not considered one of the MCU's strongest entries, Thor: The Dark World remains significant for its expansion of the Thor mythos and its contribution to the larger MCU. The film further deepens the complex relationship between Thor and Loki, setting the stage for their future interactions in Thor: Ragnarok, 2017. Additionally, the introduction of the Reality Stone ties the film into the greater Infinity Saga, leading to its eventual importance in Avengers: Infinity War, 2018, and Avengers: Endgame, 2019. Conclusion. Thor: The Dark World is a visually stunning cosmic adventure that delves deeper into the mythology of the MCU. While its villain may not have left a lasting impact, the film successfully explores Thor's character growth and his relationship with his family, particularly Loki. With its focus on sacrifice, loyalty, and the battle for control of ultimate power, the movie sets the stage for Thor's future in the MCU while adding another important piece to the puzzle of the Infinity Stones.